And right now, there is a remembrance ceremony going on at the First United Methodist Church of Orlando. It started about half an hour ago, the community coming together to pay tribute to the 49 people who were killed 9 years ago today. Thank you for joining us here at 6. I'm Hannah McKenzie.
And I'm Marlisa Goldsmith. The tragedy is bringing up mixed feelings for both the survivors and families of victims. We have live team coverage for you tonight. Randy Hildreth is speaking with families and victims and survivors. Stephanie Buffmonte is outside of the memorial ceremony, and Fox 35's John Brown is outside of the nightclub. John, you covered the shooting when it happened.
Yeah, it's one of those stories you will never forget covering. We were on the air for hours that morning, and we started getting word from some of our insiders telling us that there were people dead inside this nightclub. Our sources were saying the number may be high. But when Mayor Buddy Dyer held the press conference later on in the morning, and then he said there were nearly 50 people dead inside, we were all at a loss for words. It's a moment that many of us will never forget. It was that Sunday morning, we kept hearing from people who were just in disbelief that this was happening right here in Orlando. Here we were, the vacation capital of the world, and we were witnessing, at that time, the largest mass shooting in U.S. history. You know, one counselor we had said something that stuck with me for a long time. Says, yes, it was a tragedy, but we had to keep in mind that it was the work of one evil person and not a reflection of our community. And then we saw the best in our community right after that, and in the weeks and years to come. So that's what we saw, people helping people. It was the worst night in Orlando history that truly brought out the best in our community. But for the victims and their families, it can still be hard to move on. And that's why they're coming here to the site today to try and get some closure. Fox 35's Randy Hildreth is there live today. So, Randy, you spoke with a survivor who was shot and still has the bullet in his arm.
Yeah, good evening to you, John. A lot for him to process today. He has made the decision to not go back inside of that nightclub. He doesn't want to relive that night, that moment that his life changed forever. But some families of victims and some survivors have made the decision to go back inside, many saying that they had a lot of questions and they were hoping going back inside would fill in some of the gaps in their memory.
Quiet, tearful moments of reflection.
I'll never stop thinking about, what life would be like if she was still here.
Today, Karina Rios is missing her aunt, Brenda Lee Marquez McCool. She beat cancer twice, but was killed by a gunman in the Pulse nightclub shooting. Marquez McCool was one of 49 people who didn't make it home that night.
If we just all were nicer to each other, there'd be so many less issues in this world.
Some families of victims and survivors marked the 9th anniversary of the tragedy by going back in time. They toured the nightclub for the first time since the mass shooting, and the last time before it's torn down. Darylise Torres didn't know if she'd have enough strength to go into the club again, but she did, retracing the timeline of the night, pinpointing her locations, walking through how she escaped. But sadly, her friend Jonathan Camway did not.
I think after I process it from today, I think I got the answers I needed and hopefully I can heal.
But some couldn't bring themselves to step foot inside.
I have a bullet here with nice screw. I have a medal. And over here, come another shot.
Joshua Hernandez was in the bathroom during the shooting. His bullet scars are daily reminders of what he escaped.
I stay outside because I know I'm not gonna be good mental because it's hard. I don't want to see restroom. I don't want to see the bullet.
And site visits will continue through this weekend. I'll send it back to you, John.
All right, thanks a lot, Randy. And yeah, a lot of people have been coming out here today to grieve and also try and move forward. And coming up at 6:30, Orlando Strong. How a show of support is igniting a yearly tradition.